as Sims was walking by the caster booth just now, he asked what matchup was next, and when we told him it was Oxygen Supremacy and Tilted Towers, he got mildly frustrated, I will say. This is for sure going to be a good one.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. I think we've got two very aggressive teams going up against each other, so there's going to be a lot of action, a lot of big plays, in my opinion, in this match. And two teams, I think, arguably two of the most evenly matched teams that we've seen so far in the tournament, so definitely going to be one to watch to see how this plays out.
Yeah, like you said, aggressive players across the board here. We got Straight Sick, Rain, Ryan Noob, and Prototype on Oxygen Supremacy. On the Tilted Tower side, Baby J, Shooter, Falcated, and Commonly. Here is the series for this one. Strongholds on the rig, game number 1. Loading up now. Slayer, Regret, CTF, Truth if necessary. Strongholds Empire, and Slayer on Coliseum.
Yeah, and the Strongholds on the rig is going to be our first game, and it's already loading in the background, so let's get this one underway. As you can see on your screen, active camouflage, 2 minutes from the pickup every time that's going to respawn. But we're getting straight into the game here. We're starting off with Falcated, but he's going to be immediately taken down by Rhino.
Yeah, it looks like off the break, trying to see exactly where that camo might have gone. Looks like Prototype was able to sneak away, so got to keep an eye on his POV with the camouflage in hand here on the side of Oxygen Supremacy. Yeah,
we're staying with Commonly just for the moment through his next life. Just putting shots down. And Commonly, one of those players that we know, a big damage dealer, does a lot of work for his team as far as creating opportunities. But that camo is going to be taken out of the game, actually, as we see the railgun in the hands of Baby J now, and he's put it to use early on.
Yeah, Baby J heads up play. You saw it on the death screen there. Scatter shot in hand. He saw the camo coming through the hall and is able to neutralize camo. So eventually he will move on over here to Nest.
Yeah, finishing off that cap as well is going to be Tilted Towers, who are scoring early on. We can see one shot left in this scatter shot for Baby J to work with. Prototype picks up the first kill in the exchange, though. Falcate's going to be taken down. Baby J should have an easy job, but no, Shooter makes it even easier, keeping that bullet in the chamber to use for another battle.
That's right. Tilted Towers off to a very small lead here, just by a few points, and they're going to, once they grab BR base, will begin scoring once again. They're going to try to fly over to Nest as they are losing that, but right away, Oxygen Supremacy able to answer back.
Yeah, good push though, taking down Baby J. Here we can see two players are going to fall for Tilted Towers, so Oxygen Supremacy with a good push here. They're going to be changing the score around. We can see they have control of the basement and the Nest at the moment. 2 kills once again picked up here, so all the players are going to be coming off that respawn towards that bunker. Good control of the map here for Oxygen Supremacy, a real opportunity to pick up some important kills.
Just need camo in 30 seconds or thereabouts, railgun in 19 seconds, so these two drops certainly going to decide how these next moments play out.
Prototype and have a player popping towards that new railgun that's coming up, and this is a nice position for Prototype. He's almost trying to get behind some of those players who might be coming off respawn, looking for that new power weapon and power up, but he is going to be taken down. We can see Falcated on your screen now. He's going to convert that basement just to momentarily stem the bleeding, because 2 of the strongholds still in the hands of Oxygen Supremacy. No shot fired by Ryan Noob. He's going to be taken down by Baby J, and that should be the railgun turned over.
By the way, Ryan Noob, I do believe Florida local, so a bit of a hometown audience for him, perhaps some family and friends in the crowd looking to put on a show here in Orlando.
Camo in the hands of Shooter as well, so Tilted Towers do have something to work with. We can see the score starting to favor Oxygen Supremacy after this sort of initial battle for map control, the initial feeling each other out of these two teams. But Shooter, interestingly, a player that I spoke to, Snakebite, before the tournament started about, and when we went back to that Splice roster, when they won that DreamHack tournament and everyone was so excited, talking about Renegade, talking about Shotzzy, those type of players, Snakebite wanted to highlight Shooter and what he's done for this team. He genuinely said that he thought Shooter, at his best, was the best player on that team. The only thing that maybe has let him down a little bit was some of that consistency.
That's right now, 29-15 in favor of the guys on Oxygen Supremacy. Tilted Towers looking to rally back here. They are scoring once again. It's going to help Commonly with the railgun. People who've been watching Halo 5 since the beginning will remember Commonly his real first appearance, of course, at the X Games with Evil Geniuses, and gold medal win at the X Games as well. So made a name for himself early on at some of his first appearances, and now trying to do the same thing here in Orlando now with Tilted Towers coming through the open bracket.
Yeah, not a bad way to announce yourself to the competitive Halo scene by taking down home an X Game gold medal, but he's going to be taken down as well, so we really are seeing some kills traded back and forth. We haven't seen that railgun player pick up a consistent set of slays so far. We can see the two teams now going to be tied up, but the basement is being converted once again, I believe, by Oxygen Supremacy. So watch out for the team fight over there to see who wins that battle. It is going to be OS who managed to pick up those kills, and a lot of damage done by Prototype there. They're now, with those 2 strongholds capped, going to retake the lead.
Until the Towers rallies back right away. Tied game now here. Getting ready for that camo and rail both, I think, in any moment. Yes, here's the rail, and camo's going to be in 15 on set.
Keep an eye on that one. Straight decided to just fire a bullet into the wall there just to let him know that he's about, but the triple cap in effect now for one of the first times, and we can see that railgun could be taken down if he doesn't let go, but commonly is going to be taken down. Does get the trade, however, 44-32, the score at the moment. Not sure if anyone, it's actually Ryan Noob who's just burnt that camo. We looked across our screens. Now Shooter's going to have that scat shot. He's going to be ready to go in those up-close battles.
Yeah, it's going to be straight sick with the burn. He had railgun left, maybe a shot left in it. Also burned the camo as well, as you said. So we're going to be looking for that pickup as well. Taking a look at the time, looks like it was a 7:53 time there. So look at for that camo again at 5:53.
Yeah, keep an eye on that bottom right-hand side of your screen for that game clock. 2 kills going to go down, and we really have seen, that's the first time I've really seen a solid 3 or 4 dead here for one of the teams. It's going to be OS who are picking up the slays, and it's going to be Shooter looking for a sneaky spot there.
I tell you what,
he's going to disappear.
Anyone who has toyed around with that outside ledge, it looks like a ledge you should really be able to abuse, but the kill boxes of that outside boundary are really not as friendly as, say, something like a lockout or a map where you can kind of juke people and bounce around, trying to get crafty with that outside route.
Yeah, and off the back of that first sort of 3 or 4 dead, that clean slay that we saw in that team fight, now Oxygen Supremacy are doubling the point score. So shows how on a Strongholds game type like the rig, if you can get control of those spawns, get a team on a respawn, then you really can take advantage of it. And before you know it, you've racked up so many points.
That's right. Now Falcon doing the best he can to hold down Ness, but does get taken down by Rain. That's actually going to be 2 kills from the side of Oxygen Supremacy, so they're going to try to take advantage of this here. Look at the score, though. They're now 72-34. Keep in mind, it was just tied 32-32, so Oxygen Supremacy with this late game very strong.
Yeah, very strong from there. And Rain, obviously formerly of Team Liquid, had some big performances with them. Has been big performances in the previous Halo World Championships as well. 76-35 is the score at the moment. Ryan Noob is picking up 2. He's looking for a triple kill as well. Will he challenge this one? Smart play from Ryan Noob. Maybe if they weren't in the lead, he might have looked to pick up that kill, but playing it smart, allowing his teammates to move towards him, and they're just going to continue scoring, because if you're on the Tilted Tower side at the moment, if you're in death screen, there's no way you're capturing a stronghold.
That's right. Straightsick, who did get the burn, is waiting on camo again. Right there, you know he has that time exactly from the time that he burned it, also waiting for it on the coach. But actually, Ryan Noob on your screen is going to be one who grabs it on the platform instead. So total control, camo in hand for Ryan Noob and Oxygen Supremacy.
Yeah, he's going to give away the strongholds, but it looks like an investment in the power-up. Deciding not to try and rack up points could pay off here. He is going to miss the second shot, but that's an easy kill. A killing spree as well. That player is going to be weak on the carbine, so he's looking for his teammates, maybe calling that one out to see if he can finish it off. Common, going to have to back down. Straightsick finishes that kill. A triple cap in effect. And this is bad news, Bears, if you're a Tilted Towers fan.
Gotta love that play from Ryan Noob. Just, he knew he had the camo and really took advantage of that. Stood on the stronghold for a second, popped up on the bridge for a second, able to then land those extra shots to the player spawning in the back corner as well. So playing that so well. Look at that, exchanging pounds early. They know this is over. They'll take game number 1.
Yeah, it's done. Ryan Noob knew it was done. The camo still in his hand as he finishes the game, which is always a good sign if you finish a game with a win with a power-up still in effect. Yeah. So Oxygen Supremacy are going to go up 1-0 in the series. And what was a real back and forth exchange at the start of that game really did develop from that sort of 30-point.
It did. It actually is reminiscent of games that we saw yesterday as well, where you know, both teams are neck and neck right around the 30, maybe even to the 50-point mark in strongholds, and then one team decides to run away with it. As you'll recall, they were tied at 32, but after that, the actual final score is going to be 100-40 in favor of Oxygen Supremacy.
Well, here are the stats from that last game. You can see Rhino, big game coming in from him, 14-5-8. On the other side of things, I'm looking at Falcated there, 6-13. That isn't going to get it done. Might have been one of those situations where you keep running into a camo or a railgun or a scatter shot, but not the stats he needed to pick up his slays a little bit there. But Baby J, he put in a good game. But yeah, as you say, a very close game just until that first real 3 or 4 dead that came in. We saw kills being traded back and forth for the start of the game, and that's how quickly a Strongholds game can change around.
And we really started to see Oxygen Supremacy controlling that camo and that rail. If they weren't getting the camo, they were burning it. I know they got at least the last 2 camos. We saw them with the better part, or at least the better half of the last 2 rails as well. That power up and control made it pretty easy for them to steamroll through the end of the game.
Yeah, definitely. And Tilted Towers are going to have to answer back now, of course, in this best of 5. We're moving on to Regret Slayer, I believe, now. So another fast-paced game type, 2 fast-paced teams. This is going to be another case, I think, of what team can establish control and maybe play some disciplined Halo against the other and take advantage of any 1 or 2 dead situations and turn those into 3 or 4 deads.
Right, and if you're on the Tilted Tower side of the stage, you want to make sure that those late overshields, which will determine the fate of the game. Make no mistake, mistake about it. On Regret Slayer, if you're grabbing late overshields, you have to make a mistake to lose the game, right? I mean, late overshields, and if you have the lead, should win you the game, at least a burn or a grab. So you need to make sure that the same thing does not happen again. Oxygen Supremacy, if they start grabbing those late overshields, I'm worried for Tilted Towers.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're not getting the time on the overshield, it's not that it's the case that you're not actually going to pick the power-up up. It's the fight that happens before that overshield as well. You can almost find yourself losing a team fight, going 3 or 4 dead, and then losing the overshield as well, which is then obviously snowball. And that's why we see big kill swings in Regret Slayer. You have those opportunities to pick up 7 or 8 kills without the other team answering back. But on the flip side of that, if you do find yourself down by a significant margin, you can always make those comebacks.
That is the case indeed. Of course, going to be looking to see exactly who grabs that first Ovi, as well as Top Control jumping into the game right now.
Yeah, let's start this one off with the man who had a pretty good game number 1. It's going to be Rhinoob here from Oxygen Supremacy. 3 players flying out at the front of the base there. It looks like all players are going to be contesting that overshield. Rhinoob now actually deciding to pop up to the top of the map and maybe look to drop down behind some of those players who aggressively pushed out the front of the base. It is going to be Tilted Towers who do steal that one away. It's going to be Baby J with the first overshield of the game.
That's right, Rhinoob, of course. So, oh my gosh, look at that. The
prototype
on the overshield, pulling out the plasma pistol, neutralizing that threat immediately is Oxygen Supremacy. That's why they're such a frustrating team to play against.
Oxygen Supremacy with 3 kills, all of them in the name of prototype. And not only that, he took the overshield out of the game as well. So a huge start from him. He's going to catch Shooter off guard as well. That is a lovely respawn, but great job in that situation from Shooter to turn a 1-0 situation into a 1-1.
I was going to say, talk about turning nothing into something there. Shooter somehow gets the 180 death stick there to take him with him. But Baby J, when you're jumping up top mid with that overshield, that is not what you want to run into. You could hear the green gun coming. That is stuff of nightmares.
Yeah, you don't want to be hearing that green gun, especially when you've got an overshield as well. But you don't want to be hearing those clicks either, because Straight Stick manages to use that plasma caster there to stick that player coming off the respawn in the base. That's not a nice thing to wake up to. A nasty alarm clock. Prototype picks up a kill as well. 9-6 the score. We are seeing a tight start once again to this second game.
By the way, that was a 36 on that overshield, that 11:36 pickup. So we're going to be looking for that right around the 9:30. Sorry, on the, yes, the overshield. 9:36 on the pickup.
Baby J actually has 0 kills for his team at the moment. Currently sitting at 0 and 3, obviously very early in the game at the moment, but he is a player who I really do rate as a player, and as you can see in the kill feed there, he's picked up his first kill of the game. Definitely looking for him to come to life a little bit, but now we're going to see the players on the map maybe start dropping down for that overshield, as you mentioned, Andy, because that is where the game can be won.
All right, we've been watching once again. Baby J did die right at the 36 mark we have on our screen, so going to be keeping an eye on that. Of course, the game is within 3. That overshield will be popping up soon. Really anything possible here off this next break.
Yeah, 2 kill differential at the moment. 2 kills do go in the favor of Oxygen, in the favor of Tilted Towers. We're going to see Rhinoob. He's always on top of these power-ups, and as you can see, he's already patrolling around bottom mid and playing this one nice and sneaky. Going to make sure he gets the first shot on Baby J, finishes that one off. Another player going to be weak in front of him, but he's not actually weak. It's the overshielded player, and it's going to be Shooter who puts it to use, picking up 2.
And I have to apologize. I have absolutely no idea why I was looking at the time that Baby J died for when the overshield respawns. I've done this far too long to be saying things like that. That was that popped up right at 50, so we're going to see that pop up right around. It looks like 48 will be the next one, and this time on set, I promise.
I got you, man. Don't worry about it. Shooter's going to pick up a kill here as well. 16-15, and that overshield has been effective here. It's been the first time in the game now we're going to see Tilted Towers actually get a commanded lead, and it's all off the back of this killing spree coming in from Shooter. We talked about how effective he is as a player when he's at the top of his game. He's desperately trying to stay alive. Falcadian helps him out in that situation. Now we have a 4-kill lead for Tilted Towers.
Yeah, look at this now. Tilted answering back after what was a good lead. We just saw it was about 12-9 in favor of Oxygen Supremacy. So if you're a Tilted Towers fan, a fan of the Tilted Towers drop, which is always quite a tough, challenging, frantic drop that Strong Side always makes me do every single time we get in the bus, then you're pretty happy with this lead so far.
Yeah, pretty happy indeed. Let's see what Oxygen Supremacy can do to maybe claw their way back into this game. We see commonly using those barrels effectively, and those barrels top mid can be so effective. If you've got to play it hiding away up there, just shoot that barrel. Much easier shot to hit something that isn't moving, although sometimes, to be honest with you, Bravo, I still struggle.
Me as well. Speaking of struggling, the plasma caster is coming up in just about, look like 8 seconds before that item is up. So we'll see if Oxygen Supremacy, Straight Stick, can do just as much damage as they did last time. It's a good collapse from them, and they brought this back. Look at this, 23-25. Oxygen Supremacy only down by 2. Overshielding's about 10.
Prototype's going to be moving through the needles here, looking to try and get some lines of sight on to this overshield. It's going to be Ryanoob again who steals away. So Ryanoob's going to get that one kill, the difference between the two teams. Last time we saw Tilted Towers manage to get back into the lead after picking up this overshield. Once again, it's going to be a kill going down, but that damage again done with that plasma grenade by Falcated. That's a 1 kill swing in the game. However, all the overshield negated. I'd take that if I'm on Tilted Towers.
Yes, indeed. Now Ryanoobh trying to clear out, but he does get naded out of red. Ryanoobh with that overshield, like you said, was able to do a little bit of damage. However, Tilted Towers very aware of that overshield in play. They made sure to neutralize it. They'll maintain their lead by just a few here. Heavy pressure coming in, though.
Yeah, a few missed shots there from Shooter. Had the opportunity to clean that player up, and it might come back to bite them because those two players who were top car are going to fall. Make it 3. The game is now tied up at 29-29. These two teams so evenly matched so far in this Slayer. It's all been about those overshields because that's where we've seen those kill swings.
Yes, indeed. Of course, and really things are going to point towards the next overshield as well. As we said, do not want Oxygen Supremacy to get these late overshields. Now here they are with a 2-kill lead right around past the midpoint. Now a 3-kill lead, and they're setting up. And if you're on the side of Tilted Towers, you cannot let them get these power-ups.
Yeah, and this is the first time we've really seen that all of the players come in off of those respawns, the opportunity to spawn trap them. And look at the bottom right of your screen, a 4-kill difference, but those players are still trapped in the blue base. Rangers has to try and stay alive, and it looks like the guys on Tilted Towers realized how important it was to push that player, isolate him, take him out, and give themselves an escape route from that base.
Yes, indeed. Now a 2-kill game. So Oxygen Supremacy, despite being together, they get collapsed on here on top car. And look at this, Tilted Towers now only down by 1, answering back immediately. 3 unanswered kills.
3 unanswered kills, and right in time for that overshield that's going to be coming up pretty soon as well. Shooter going to get some help from Commonly here to finish that one off. We have a tied game, 15 seconds till that overshield coming up, and that plasma caster also dropping 2.
That's right. Right now, the overshield counter is timing down, so you're going to see players start to drop. They need to make sure they're covering their angles. Shooter, though, is not able to get down. He's going to be trapped up here. He's not really going to be involved in the OS battle, and as a result, it's Ryanoobh, Oxygen Supremacy with the OS grab.
Yeah, not for the first time we've seen Ryanoobh with it now. Can they put it to use once again? We saw the last one not do too much damage just due to the fact that Falcated managed to get this huge stick off, but look at the information here that Ryanoobh is gathering from this position. He's put shots down on 3 different players here. It's all up to his teammates to react. Straight Sick doing a good job, but look at the focus fire coming in here from the Tilted Towers players. They have melted all of his overshield off, and Ryanoobh is going to fall to Commonly.
Focus fire, just like you said, amazing teamwork, team shot in there to take out the overshield. Again, they've done such a good job of taking down Ryanoobh. Like you said, he's able to grab a lot of intel about team positioning, however, not able to get effective on the scoreboard. Tilted Towers down by 2. Now Oxygen Supremacy extending their lead by 3, 41-38.
Yeah, this should be another kill here as well for Ryanoobh. Cleans up that kill on Falcated with the headshot. Look at the, and now this is the time that you do want to get that kill lead towards the end of the game. If he can win this battle against Commonly, he could have had the opportunity to get top mid control, but Commonly hitting his shots when it matters. Now Rain has that plasma caster at the top of the carbine, looking to take down Commonly again, but Commonly's got to be feeling good, but he's going to be taken down. 44-40 the score. Oxygen Supremacy look like they're trying their desperately hard to close this one out.
Love these plays from Rain. Look how selective he is. He sees the player top mid. He engages only long enough to get his opponent weak while not taking any shots, giving themselves undisputed advantages. Now only 3 kills to go.
Yeah, and you have to say in a high pressure situation, but towards the end of a team Slayer, that is one of the biggest traits you can have as a pro player. The ability to stay calm in those situations, play it like it's a 0-0 situation, and Rain showing a perfect example of how to act in these pressure situations.
Yeah, perfect play from Rain, able to just land down those shots and not challenge. A lot of players would be tempted to challenge to finish that kill. Now only 1 more to go.
Yeah, 1 more to go. This looks like it should be a GG, and Oxygen Supremacy taking a 2-0 kill. The only question is, who's going to pick up the last kill? It is going to be Prototype. Fantastic job from the guys in the back to capture that last kill. Fist bumps go in. They lead by 2. Just 1 game to close out the series.
Yeah, they do look strong here. Like we said, those late overshield grabs, it looked almost too much like the rig. If you just looked at the game in terms of power-up grabs, Oxygen Supremacy locking down Railgun as well as camos in game number 1. In game number 2, they're getting plasma casters and they're getting overshields, and they did it time and time again. It makes it easy for them. They win the game 50-44.
Yeah, and here are your stats, and whew, Prototype, big game from him, 17-8, a positive 9 spread there for him. Ryanoob, 14-8-12, but also the most important thing to point out about Ryanoob there was the amount of overshields that he was on top of. Great job from not only him, but the coach standing behind him.
And I got to say also, if you call it game one, you'll see the same thing. It was Ryanoob who was always going to the platform. Him and Straightsick were working together on the rig to get those camos. They did a great job of it again. You'll notice on the last overshield that we were talking about, not only were they setting up low, right, the kind of the criteria for getting an overshield, having someone to watch sidelines low, you need to send someone in for Ovi, but they're pinning Tilted Towers in a base. So Tilted can't even get out of a base to get a sightline towards the overshield. And you saw Shooter, he's stuck in the sneaky. He can't even get any sort of sightline or angle anywhere near overshield. Ryanoob swoops in, gets it time and time again.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is you made that point, how good a job they were doing, because Ryanoob was pretty much standing 2 or 3 seconds before the overshield was spawning, actually on that platform, and picking it up without being shot. So credit to his teammates. Ryanoob doing a good job of getting those times, but his teammates really allowing him to flourish with that power.
And Onset, you would think about Tilted Towers with how, how focused they are on teamwork and making sure each other has that large shield pot. It's a big deal, right? And despite there being a big old shield pot in the bottom middle of the map, they were going for it. Very surprising for a squad that claims they drop Tilted Towers every time.
Yeah, maybe you've exposed them a little bit there, Andy. Maybe you're more experienced with those drops than they are. But the third game
I wouldn't say
of the series is going to be capture the flag on Truth. And Oxygen Supremacy, it's been one of their games that throughout history, and the Ryanoob teams and Prototype teams, they've been very historically strong on this one. Always do a great job of controlling that P side of the map.
Yes, indeed. Would hate to play against these guys in any game type, let alone a Truth game type. Camo is still up. Let's see exactly where the grab is gonna go, and it looks like, I do believe it's still up actually, and you see right here on your screen, Rain is going to get the burn right there at 41, so look for that at the 41 mark. Yeah,
I actually want to stay on board with Falcade a little bit in this game because he hasn't had the strongest of performances in those first 2 games, so I'm looking for him to step up to the challenge here. Obviously, Tilted Towers do need to win 3 back-to-back games now to take this series, with Oxygen Supremacy doing a good job defensively, clearing those players out of his base. Falcade's going to play this one nice and slowly. This is a fantastic play. Unfortunately, his teammate couldn't get that trade because there might have been an opportunity for more of a clear flag run across the map.
It was beautiful. With as fast as you can move in Halo 5, one thing you're going to notice about these veteran players all weekend is how selective they are in how they engage targets, when they engage targets. You can get a lot of places on the map in this game very fast, which gives you a lot of opportunities to engage, but your top players are going to let players walk by. They're going to wait to get those back whacks and then help a player. Anytime you can guarantee 2 dead instead of 1, it's a big moment for your team.
Yeah, it definitely is. And one thing to point out here, and something to look out for from Oxygen Supremacy, is how much they abuse that bottom base. You saw one player there on the radar for commonly fly under the base, and what that makes you do, you have to be aware of that player. And I believe it was actually Rain who managed to sneak under that base. Now he's getting that flagpole, picking up kills. Another player going to be behind him on the car side. Please don't do it to Prototype. He does do it. He takes him down. It was actually Falcated. Sorry, Prototype. Don't want to throw you under the bus. The bus again, another reference, but the flag is going to be thrown in. Look at that. Prototype puts it in. It's going to be 1-0 to OS.
So that's Ryanoob doing what Ryanoob does best. Took the flag from Pink 1 run. I'm not sure when we caught it as we transitioned. Ryanoob went front base, knew a teammate was spawning, got the flag toss all the way in. Prototype is there for the catch. Ryanoob getting creative and crafty with his flag runs, tossing that thing up, getting it on the fastest line to the base. They go up 1-0.
Yeah, another thing to look out for here. Obviously, that camouflage is going to be popping up. We saw Tilted Towers moving towards the pink side of the map, but all of the kills go in the favor of Oxygen Supremacy. So guess who? Surprise, surprise. It's Ryanoob who's on top of this power-up. He's going to wait for that one to pop. It was a slightly delayed one. I think a couple of team fights might have gone down. That's going to be picked up at 39. Now I'd like to see him just back down, stay alive, and use the duration of this camouflage.
That's right. 39, like you said, is the time on that. And Ryanoob has proven to be the power-up master through this series. This has been the story of all 3 games. You can bet that every 2 minutes, Ryanoob is prioritizing the power-up appropriately, and I wouldn't expect anything different from him. Look at this, able to walk around and just one by one pick off opponents.
Yeah, he's got a 1v1 battle here. Again, I do want to see him just make sure that he's prioritizing his life, because that flag is being moved, and now you're going to see Ryanoob decide to actually move through Pink 2, looking to pick up kills across the map, and then maybe go for that flag touch, because that flag hasn't been returned, and now this might be the opportunity to run it. That is perfect decision-making there from Ryanoob. That's going to convert into a second flag cap, and now they're just 1 away from winning the series.
And that right there might be Ryan Noob's best and most effective use of a power-up there. Look, leaves the player bottom base, right? Finish, helps with the kill on pink 1, goes up pink 2, challenges a player top mid, finishes another kill on the needles, engages all the way across the map, engaging all 4 players on Tilted Towers. In doing so, guess what? His teammates have already spawned. I mean, Ryan Noob truly controlled the pace of every single moment in the last minute and a half.
Yeah, big decisions made, all of the correct ones as well. He's going to be sneaking up here on Commonly as well. He does miss 1 bullet, but he makes it pay, and that's going to be a few extra ones for the one that was missed, just to let Commonly know. That's 3 dead there for Tilted Towers. Last player alive is going to be taken down. This is another opportunity for a flag run potentially, but it looked like those carbine bubble spawns might have been blocked accidentally by the OS players. So now they're going to have to pick up another round of kills. Now they're going to run that flag.
I love what I'm seeing from Ryan Noob. Look at this double, might turn into a triple. Woo! Yes, he does. Can he get the over waiting for it? Let's see it. I'm not sure they're going to peek out. The player just hit in the base. Wastes a lot of time, though, but look at Ryan Noob. I'm so impressed with what he's doing. He's playing the advantage every time, right?
And another thing to look at here, you've got to think, what's the most annoying thing for Tilted Towers to have to deal with now? This flag's on the P side. There's a player under the base. You can't go for that return because you have players on the pink side of the map pushing up to try and get the touch on that flag. You have Ryan under your base. The flag's already moving in. That's going to be the game. 3-0, Oxygen Supremacy. Sweep aside Tilted Towers.
And they'll win the game in the same fashion they win the series, a score of 3-0. And Tilted Towers is going to have to go back to the drawing book, see if they can get ready for the rest of the tournament, because there's certainly a lot more Halo to play.
Yeah, of course, this is only group play, so it's not going to impact them too much. However, I was expecting those 2 teams, with the caliber of player that are on those 2 teams, to maybe be slightly closer matches than they were, but you have to give massive credit to the way Oxygen Supremacy have come out. They looked the dominant force in that one. That was a convincing victory for that team.
It was, and I mean it when I say it. I think everyone watching at home and also here in the room will agree. Ryan Noob grabbing power-ups was the won every single game for this team. So fantastic teamwork from them and prioritizing those drops.
Yeah, they just managed to outslay their opponents as well, I think. And it was Ryan Noob, as you can see on the stats there, who really did make that difference. 11, 3, and 6 from him. Huge performance in that game, but it wasn't just the kills, it was the decision-making which separated him from the rest of the players.
Oh, it absolutely was. I mean, we saw the routes he was taking, the angles he was choosing. Yesterday, we saw examples of players who tried to get crafty during a pink 1.